Hey everybody, Cam the AC Man here with Ductworks Heating and Cooling. It's that time of year, fall's in the air, it's getting a little crisp and cold outside, that temperature's dropping, and these systems are starting to go into heating mode. So what I want to talk about is exactly what is a heating maintenance? What do we do in a heating maintenance for your system? Well, it's very similar to what we do to air conditioning side. There's just a few extra things that we do check in the system. Camera dropped, sorry. The few extra things that we do check in the system, but I'm gonna kind of go through everything real quick, just kind of give you a good idea. First of all, well, we got a system here that we have set up in our warehouse location that we practice on. We go through and let the guys practice troubleshooting on the system, kind of, especially guys that's coming up, that's kind of green in our industry, that's wanting to learn more about the service side. So what I have here is a system that like I said, we set it up for that purpose. But a few things that we do. First of all, we go through, we clean these outdoor coils. We make sure all this is flush, there's no dust, no debris in there. We go through the inside of the unit, especially if you're in a very heavy foliage area where you've got leaves and sticks and all kind of mess. We get all that mess cleaned out because it can build up in there. Also, we go through the outdoor units controls. For example, start capacitors. You might have heard people talk about that. Yep, I have my start capacitor replaced. Well, there's a reason. When these capacitors go bad, they can cause a compressor to fail. It can cause the fan motor outside to fail. So what we do is we go through these systems. When we go through these systems, we check the capacitors, and we just don't look at it and say, "Oh, well, it looks bad." We actually have instruments that we can test the effectiveness of that capacitor. So it's very important. Changing just having to replace that capacitor can save you a bunch of money in the future on bad compressors, bad fan motors, other components. We also check the contactor. Contactor is like a switch. That's what says click, turn on compressor, click, turn on fan. So that's very important too. And after years of it off and on, off and on, off and on, they can get wore down. So we go through and check those out. We also check defrost control boards. That's what this is. Now a defrost board, when it gets good and cold outside, these systems start to frost up. They get a little bit of ice on them. You might have looked outside and seen little bands of ice on the outdoor unit. Which is, it's normal to have some, but especially gets good and cold, it's normal to have some on it. But what happens is that once it gets to a point, and that temperature gets to a point, there's a sensor that says, hey, it's time to go into defrost mode. So what it does, it switches over to defrost mode and thaws everything out. So it's normal to see a little bit of frost on the outdoor unit, especially when it's really, really, really cold outside. Other things that we check, this is the actual air handler that's matched to this outdoor unit. We go through, check all the high voltage controls. We check the heaters that's in the system. There's safety switches in there that we have to check. Limit switches, make sure all the components are tight for your, the transformer, the lugs, where everything's lugged into the system. Because in the wintertime, this draws more power because you got these heaters. And if you don't have everything good and tight and good and snug, it can lead to wires overheating and it could cause some major problems. We also check the indoor blower. We want to make sure that there's no debris in there, no kind of dust. As time goes on, and if it's not cleaned, dust builds up in the little fan, like little scoops. And once those fill up, you don't move airflow like you once did. We also check these coils. We go through, make sure that they're good and cleaned out. There's no kind of dust or debris in that as well. So that's just some examples of things that we do on the maintenance side for heating. We go through and plus clean those drains out again. Even though the drains are mainly used in the summertime, we go ahead and flush them again in case there's any kind of dust or anything. We don't want that to turn into mush or harden up, in the wintertime when there's no water going through there. But yeah, that's pretty much maintenance in a nutshell when it comes to a heat pump maintenance. But yeah, with it being that time of year, it's it's definitely time to have your system checked if you haven't had it checked, whether you're using Ductworks Heating and Cooling or some of the other guys that's out there. It's very important for a proper maintenance. So, but if you got any questions about preventive maintenance, you can give us a call. Our office number is 843-427-7411, or you can go to ductworksheatingandcooling.com. And we got great information on there about maintenance plans as well. But if you have any questions, by all means, give us a call. And have a great day.